saw the final game of the 2020 NFL season last night. Sad times. Sad times. But just because the season is over doesn't mean that Purple Rain podcast is. Come on.
Mm-mm. No.
Come on. But as always,
not at all.
I'm SimplyAS10. That is my guy Suttondef, and welcome back. Purple Rain podcast. Episode 24. Kobe episode.
Kobe episode. I like that. Yeah, man. Welcome back. Purple Rain Podcast, episode 24. We've already got a good amount of people here already watching live. If you are watching live, shout out to you guys. The Rain Gang is in full effect tonight. Unknown Goat is in here. Our guy Cam Neal. Our Mod NFL Productions is in here. Our guy KLA Sports. Y Jumper. We've got Jace Woods in here. We've got the whole Rain Gang. Darius, the official. What's up, Darius? K-Dog is in here. What's up, K-Dog? Always nice to see you here. Zeke Phillips, I'm sorry, says, yo, Rain Gang. We got the whole gang here, the whole squad. Click one, too. He's also in here as well. So shout out to you guys, man. Make sure you like the video if you haven't already. I know it's early. We got to tell y'all to like the video because it helps us out a bunch. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, I think you might like the content tonight, guys. I think we got a good episode. Like my guy Alex, like you said, like my guy Alex said, man, Super Bowl just ended. It was a very different Super Bowl than what most of us expected. Yeah. So we're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about all of it. But first, how are you, my guy, Alex? How are you?
You can tell by the coat. I'm doing good. The team that I wanted to win won. And if you followed me on Twitter, you would have known that I said I was gonna be petty tonight. And you're damn right. The Kansas City Chiefs went to the Super Bowl to not score a touchdown. They didn't score a touch. The streaker, the fan on the field, got in the end zone before the Chiefs did last night. Come on now. Yeah. Come on.
Oh, man. You hate to see it. Man. It's just totally very anticlimactic. I think for all neutral fans in the league, it was just kind of like, all right, cool. I mean, I guess like Brady, he got his 7th ring. He cemented his legacy last night. He definitely did in my book and in a lot of people's book, I think. But it was a good game though. It was a good game in terms of like, Tampa Bay played really well, and you had to appreciate what they did on both sides of the football.
They ran the ball well, and their defense played good. Sounds familiar. Just sounds from of a team that we may know a little bit, but Got to give credit to their defense, honestly. Yeah. Their front four, they were just causing havoc every single play.
Oh, yeah.
Pierre-Paul, Shaq Barrett, Vita Vea, Ndamukong Suh, those 4 guys deserve an MVP in themselves. And Todd Bowles, their defensive coordinator, he deserves the MVP as well. And, we're talking about Bieniemy getting, head coaching position or, like, just, interviews. Todd Bowles isn't? Like, wow.
Man, and it's crazy because I sure did doubt the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the last episode of the Purple Rain podcast. I thought that even with like the offensive line struggles and everything like that Kansas City was having, I thought that they would be able to will through and beat that one-on-one man coverage that they just could not seem to get away from last night at all. But like we said, man, big shout out to the Tampa Bay defense. They stepped up. The Tampa Bay defense, they destroyed the battle. They destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs in the battle at the line of scrimmage, man. They dominated the trenches all night. And that was really the story. Of it. A lot of people don't, when they watch football, they don't really see that part. And, a lot of casual fans, they won't see that part and be like, okay, that's the reason why that game was decided this way. They'll look at, Patrick Mahomes, he just didn't play well. Or there was a couple receivers who dropped some footballs. But no, I mean, the battle of the trenches, every game is won or lost in the trenches. And you really saw, not having Eric Fisher on Patrick Mahomes' blind side and then the rest of his O-line being like basically a patchwork job, it screwed him over. It screwed him over big time. And according to Pro Football Focus, according to Pro Football Focus, Mahomes was under pressure on 27 of his 56 dropbacks. So that is about 48%. That's about half the time that he's snapping the ball. There's people in the backfield and, he's got to get the ball out quick. So, it was kind of reminiscent and, I don't want to relate this back. I don't want to keep relating it back to the Ravens, but, this is a Ravens podcast. So,
exactly.
Might as well. Why not? Why not? But we kind of saw the same sort of jitters out of Patrick Mahomes that we saw out of Lamar Jackson against the Bills in that game.
Yeah,
Am I wrong about that?
not wrong. Not wrong
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, I was texting you today. It felt like watching a Ravens playoff collapse again. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, just the line play was terrible, and their identity, what they're known for, it just was thrown out the window. They couldn't
Yeah.
pass the ball. I mean, and when they could, it was garbage time. It didn't really matter. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely some questions asked up on the Chiefs side. You know, where were the in-game adjustments? Because
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Arians and his team, they made them adjustments. They
Yeah.
saw what the Chiefs were doing, and they cut it out. Levante David, can we please put some respect on his name? He was
Absolutely.
he was keeping Kelsey quiet when it mattered. I know Kelsey got his catches, but that's what happens when you play soft. But when that first half, he was locking down Kelsey one on one,
Yeah.
disrupting the play, and then
Physical.
the corners in the secondary. Carlton Davis got burnt the first game for 200 yards in the first quarter. They were putting Sean Murphy, but they were just switching it up. I loved it. I love what they did. And Antoine Winfield, the fact he didn't get more Rookie of the Year votes, wow, because he played his ass off last night.
Yeah.
Just that the Bucs, I think what they need to focus on is life after Tom Brady, but they are set up very well for the future.
Absolutely, man. That defense is stout. And, the main reason why they were able to dominate Mahomes in that offense was because they were literally playing in perfect harmony. So they were playing in cover two man most of the game. They had two safeties over the top, taking away that big play from Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was very, very quiet in this game. And, they were just basically, Kelsey had his catches. Most of them came in garbage time. I think he had like 10 catches for 133 or something like that, which is a great game. That's a great game for a tight end. But it just wasn't enough, and it was too little too late. But like I said, they were playing cover two man, two safeties over the top. You're only rushing four. They were only rushing four, and they were getting pressure with four. And when you can get pressure with four, and then the other seven guys can cover, and you just have your linebackers kind of just playing out in space, it's very, very hard to beat that. I don't care what quarterback you are, like who you are. You know what I mean? And that's how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were playing on defense all night, and they were swarming, and they were physical. So you really just got to tip your cap to them, honestly. It was phenomenal performance. The MVP should go to that whole defense.
I honestly think they brought a blitz 2 times yesterday. I think that only 2 plays. They brought five rushers. I think that was it. I could be wrong. But real quick, we got a Bucs fan in the chat. So a big shout out to our guy, God Baby.
Yes, sir.
Real Bucs fan, been there through the bad days, the Josh McCown days, the Josh Freeman days. But a big shout out to him. We've experienced winning a Super Bowl. I just can't imagine what it's like for you. So, just congrats for all that. Yeah, you're right. The whole defense stepped up. And then the Bucs offensive line looked shaky the first couple of drives, but as the game went on, definitely, played in the game, got more comfortable. And something about those Ravens centers with the bad snaps. See Ryan Jensen have that snap go over Tom Brady's head?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I got some PTSD there, but wow.
Yeah.
It's an all-out dominant Super Bowl.
Yeah, very, very, just totally dominant. It was crazy to watch. I was kind of in shock watching, the Chiefs offense just get shut down like that completely. And then also just on the other end, you also have to tip your cap to Tom Brady. Tom Brady played masterfully on offense. He made all the right decisions when he needed to. And that's just really what's important, in big games like that. And you could see the experience factor playing in. There will be times where it was second and long or third down and they needed to pick up a first down and he snaps the ball. Everybody's covered, but he's got that check down. He's got that check down to Leonard Fournette or Rojo or whoever.
Super Bowl Lenny.
And it's just it just was always working. Everything was working. And I think he only had 6 incompletions, 20 for 26 or something like that. And maybe 200 yards, I believe.
It wasn't a good game by stats, but he was efficient.
He was efficient. Exactly.
It's we saw Lamar Jackson he would have 5 touchdown games, but throw for less than 200 yards. He was efficient, and that's what wins games. You can throw for 500 yards and still lose. Doesn't matter. It's matter what wins games. And then Gronkowski turning back the clock. That second touchdown was wow. But also the Chiefs shot themselves in the foot. The penalties, they were just giving up. The holdings, and then the offsides on the field goal, that really, really hurt them.
Yeah. How did you feel about that pass interference call on Tyrann Mathieu, like late in the first half?
It was both ways. I mean, it could have went either way, but
Some would say that ball was uncatchable and they shouldn't have thrown that flag.
it was uncatchable. Oh, I didn't know that.
Brady kind of sailed that ball. It wasn't
I
like,
didn't see
just kind of
that.
out there for him.
It
Yeah.
may wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if
Yeah.
it was. Now
'Cause
the
I mean
one
that.
where I think it was Breedlin, I want to say, when Mike Evans burnt him and he kind of like
Mm,
tripped him. That
yeah.
definitely I would say is a flag. But
Yeah.
it probably wasn't a flag. The one on Tyrann Mathieu probably wasn't.
Come on. Yeah, I mean there were some ticky tacky calls in that first half, especially that I was kind of like, I don't know about this one, guys. Like, I don't. I think and it goes back again. I say this all the time. Why can we not just take a moment after a play to make sure we get the call right? It maintains the integrity of the game. Like, why do we have to say like, okay, it's controversial, but here's the call we made on the field, so we're just gonna go with that. We can't just go back and look at it. Like, come on, man. Like, this is the Super Bowl, you know. So I
That's
mean
the
that kind of
best.
bothers me. Yeah, it's the best of the best. So that kind of bothered me. But like you said, it is what it is, and that kind of thing happens in big games. There's gonna be calls that don't go your way, and there really wasn't that many penalties in the second half, if I remember correctly. At least on the
Only like
Chiefs. Yeah,
I don't think there was any. I would say on the Chiefs. I know
yeah,
the Bucks had the rough in the passer on Pierre Paul, and then the taunting, which I absolutely loved from Antoine Winfield. I
yeah.
that I mean, just the way, because I forgot that Tyreek Hill did like the backflip on them and the piece, and like when he sealed it and did that piece in front of his face. I love
Yeah.
that. I know there's like the Romo and Nance, there's no place for that in the game. Not that right there was just wonderful, like the cherry on the
Right.
top.
Yeah. Definitely was the cherry on top. Let's see. Zeke Phillips says a lot of refs are Tom Brady biased. QB. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, a lot of you guys are saying refs. All PIs were legit by Jace Woods. Okay, okay. I feel like they can go. They can go either way. A lot of them can go either way. But I feel like there were a lot of ticky tack calls against the Chiefs in that first half.
Yeah, like
I know those.
Evans, I think
Yeah.
drew four penalties in the first half. They could
Mm,
not. Mike Evans was just bodying them. He only had one catch, but his impact was so big because they were just threatened by him.
Now, our guy Y Jumper, he says Mahomes finally feels what Lamar goes through every game. What do y'all think about that?
That's why I really didn't feel bad because we've seen it the past 3 years
Yeah.
in the playoffs, but the line just collapses in our
Yeah.
losses. So I don't feel
And there's
bad.
just nothing you can do.
Yeah, I don't feel bad whatsoever for Mahomes. I mean, sucks to suck, but welcome to the world of Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Welcome.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. We had a couple other entries in here. Tandra Bowman says, what about the media not calling a spade when they got their ass kicked? If it was Lamar, there would have been a crucifixion going on. Congratulations to Tampa Bay. What do you think about that?
If Lamar started off 2 for 10 for 20 yards in the Super Bowl, can you imagine what would have been said about him? Honestly.
Oof.
And he
Oof.
ran for more yards than he threw by that time. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, man. It did not look good for Mahomes last night. Darius, the official, basically says the same thing, bro. Can y'all imagine if Lamar played like that? OMG. I would have been off social media for a while saying, bro.
Honestly, I want to hear from you guys. If Lamar started off 2 for 20, 20 yards and 30 yards rushing, how quick do you think they would be to call him a running back or a receiver? In minutes, seconds. Do you think 1 minute or 1 second? Because
It'd be seconds.
they wouldn't even give him the time to get to halftime.
Yeah.
They will wait for that. And
They'd
like
be all over it.
a 49 passer rating, I think.
Yeah. What did you think about the? So I mean, we know the completely dominant performance from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but what did you think about Tony Romo doing this Super Bowl? Like, did you like his analysis?
I did. Did you?
I loved it.
I mean, you think
I think
can't
he's
go
the
wrong with
best in the
that.
game, man. I think he's the best in the game, honestly.
They're definitely taking over from Michaels and Collinsworth. Now here's a guy. I mean, I love that from Collinsworth, but they're probably the best duo. in the
Yeah.
in the NFL, just commentating. I mean,
Yeah.
Fox, Aikman, and Buck. Needs to no.
It's dry.
Very, very dry.
Yeah.
But Nance and Romo definitely brings a different aspect that we haven't seen in commentating. I really like it.
Yeah. Honestly, let's see. Yeah, like I said, I really liked Tony Romo as well. Let's see other questions we have, other concerns, comments we have in the chat. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, I feel bad for Eric Bieniemy. He should have been a head coach by now, and now they're going to use this Super Bowl loss against him.
I don't think they will.
You don't think so?
No.
That's interesting.
If they aren't putting any blame towards Patrick Mahomes, why are you going to put it against the offensive coordinator?
Yeah. I don't think you really can blame Bieniemy for this performance when his quarterback literally had less than 2 seconds to throw the ball, you know?
Yeah. And the Bucs did a great job, reading out screens, little bubble screens to Tyreek Hill. They did a perfect job shadowing it.
Let's see here. So Click One says, this is the 4th time we're going to be playing Mahomes in this upcoming season. Wink should study this and teach it, and we should also not have 2 strong safeties in the back and have one that can cover. Yeah. I think, do you think that Wink should learn from Tampa Bay's game plan against
Definitely
the Chiefs?
take note.
Take note.
Wink gets blitz. He just starts blitzing for no reason. He really does something. He'll bring a corner, and then we get burnt. Hopefully he does learn, but hopefully we have the guys that can, get pressure on them.
Yeah. Also think in order to implement that game plan successfully, we need another safety.
You think
I
so?
don't know if Chuck Clark's going to do it.
Oh, I've been seeing that a lot. So even in my Deshaun Elliott video, I saw a lot of people commenting they want to keep Deshaun, but they don't think Chuck is the answer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the green dot that really worries me.
Yeah. And I think we talked about that on the last episode too. Let's see what else we have here. I saw something very interesting. Fatal Storm Clan, shout out to our guy. He says, I wonder what the cover of Madden 22 will be. I think that it should be Derrick Henry stiff arm on Josh Norman. Who do you think is going to be on the cover of Madden 22?
I wouldn't mind Derrick Henry. I think Aaron Rodgers has to get a shout now. I think because he just won the MVP.
Yeah, but they like fresh faces. I feel like honestly, they'll go with Derrick Henry.
I wouldn't
2,000 yards.
I wouldn't mind if they had Justin Herbert and Chase Young. I know they won't put 2 guys, but kind of just 2 Rookie of the Year winners. The Herbert broke records. Chase Young was literally turned the Washington football team around. But yeah, I think Derrick Henry is probably my safe bet.
Yeah,
especially they can just advertise the stiff arms.
Absolutely,
easy advertising.
Let's see. So our guy God Baby says A-Rod. NFL Production says Justin Jefferson. Interesting.
Him hitting the gritty on the cover, that would be pretty nice.
That'd be pretty dope. But he needs another good 2-3 years, I would think. Let's see. We got our guy Keeping It Real is in here. Shout out to Keeping It Real, man. Make sure you guys go and check out his channel as well and subscribe to him. He says, I hope Mahomes' performance yesterday showed fans that one man can't carry a team to victory by himself. This is a team game, and it requires everyone to show up in order to win. Now, that is so true. You're about to say something about it?
I was about to say, and you keep that same energy for number 8 on the Ravens. Yeah. They don't think that way when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens, but you can go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is absolutely true. It's facts. It's a team game. It requires everybody to show up in order to win, like he said. But it really just makes you think about how great Tom Brady is, because even though it is a team game and he just came on to a new team this season, he took them all the way to the Super Bowl. He whipped that team into shape, and he also recruited pieces that ended up being the key pieces in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady recruited Leonard Fournette. He recruited AB. He also recruited what's the last one I'm missing? I'm drawing a blank. Help me, Alex.
Rob Gronkowski.
Gronkowski, exactly, from the Patriots, his old buddy. They had all the touchdowns. So it's like, it really just blows my mind. Like, Tom Brady, he brought in the right guys. He utilized those guys in the biggest important moments. And He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, man. And like you said, keeping it real, one man can't will a team to victory by himself. And Tom Brady certainly did not do it by himself last night. But just the way that he played and just controlled that offense and just basically whipped that entire team into shape. You can listen to stories from guys like Devin White, from guys like Chris Godwin, who Brady was telling them like in the offseason, like before the season started, like, look, we're going to win a Super Bowl. Like, we're going to get to a Super Bowl. And they had to take his word for it. And he held his word. Like, he made it to a Super Bowl and he won the Super Bowl. And that's just, amazing to me. So shout out to Tom Brady, man. You really can't, speak highly enough of the guy at this point. But, yeah.
Well, actually, I want to pull. Speaking of just the Bucs, I want to pull up their first round pick, Tristan Wirfs. All right, This guy, 22 years old, started every single game, didn't miss a single offensive snap. He has one penalty since week 5 and allowed one sack the whole year. 799 pass blocking snaps. What they did was they knew they were gonna. They just made. I heard about today. They had this plan to get Tom Brady. They pitched all these things to him. They said, the weapons, Florida, the great young defense, Bruce Arians, but they wanted to protect him. So what do they do? They trade up with San Francisco, whose GM is John Lynch, Buccaneers legend, and then they get an offensive lineman to shore up that line. Because if you're gonna have Tom Brady in the pocket, you need him to be protected.
Yeah,
they did what teams should be doing around their young quarterbacks: build around them, and they did it perfectly. And they got the reward, the biggest reward of them all, the Super Bowl. So you just got to give a big shout to the Buccaneers front office for having a goal, setting their mind to it, and just doing it. And it worked out perfectly for them.
Honestly, man, and the way it's looking right now with that defense and just Brady being Brady, they could very well repeat. They could very well make it back next season, Brady's got another year on the deal, so he definitely could come back and make it to the Super Bowl next season too, which is crazy to think about. What if he goes for eight rings? Okay, that would just be ridiculous, wouldn't it? 8 rings. Yeah.
That would be wild. But
That'd
I think
be crazy.
Is it crazy to say the Buccaneers are the best linebacker duo in the league with Devin White and Levante David?
I mean, after this playoffs performance. Yeah, I mean, you can say that. You can say that, honestly. When you talk about a duo, because what are the other duos, like the big duos in the league?
I mean, Fred Warner himself takes the Niners up there. I mean, I think he was the best linebacker in the league. But after yesterday, wow, that performance, Devin White and David, they just shot up there. It could be like 1A and 1B. The way this Devin White plays is how fast he is. How young he is. Wow. Linebacking duos really can't come up with any other ones that are that good in the league. Chris Bourne
and Malik Harris. That's
a
good one. Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe. But Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen needs to make that second year jump that Devin White made. Because if we see that from Patrick Queen next year, you know how much better the defense will be?
Oof.
Like,
if Patrick Queen steps up and, fulfills that kind of destiny of being like that number one linebacker, that star linebacker for what we drafted him for, honestly, our defense would totally change the entire identity. If he can, get better in coverage and stuff like that. Also, by the way, Patrick Queen, I believe he came in third in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting.
Yeah, I want to talk about that after we talk about the Super Bowl, if that's cool.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. We can transition into that in just a few minutes here. But
perfect.
Yeah, man. Honestly, if Patrick Queen can take that next step up and like Click One says, just learn how to cover and just kind of get more comfortable in our defense. And of course, I think he'll do that. He that's another thing. There was no preseason this past season or anything like that. So if he has more time to like kind of learn, grow, and develop, I feel like he'll definitely come around.
I hope so. I mean, he has the speed. I don't know if you saw the play. It's been living rent free in my mind since yesterday. It was a screenplay, and Devin White literally read it from the jump. He got from his spot in the middle of the field to the sideline in like 2 or 3 seconds, went past the offensive lineman and made the play.
They were hungry.
He has that speed.
Yeah.
And if he can just start reading plays out like that, he can jump up I mean, he was the second worst rated linebacker by PFF, but if he can just improve his coverage skills just by 50 to 75%, he can become a very good linebacker. Because you're not perfect, we get that, but just we want to see improvements. And first round pick, we have high expectations. And I think his rookie year was above average, I'd say, for a linebacker with no preseason under his circumstances. So definitely high hopes for 48.
Let's see here. Our guy Jordan Yates, he says, "Yo, my first live stream with you guys, and you guys are awesome." Thank you, Jordan. We appreciate that, man. We have 50 people watching live right now. If you're watching live right now, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we thank you so much for coming out and rocking out with us for the 24th installment of the Purple Rain podcast. Like my guy Simply said at the beginning of the stream, even though the NFL season is over, the Purple Rain podcast is not. So make sure you guys subscribe, and we're going to have content coming out for you guys. So
Mondays and Thursdays, you know it.
Yeah. And then we're going to be sprinkling in some other stuff as well. And be on the lookout for the merch, because that is on the way too.
Heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Yeah. So let's see. What do we have here? Did you want to talk about... Yeah, let's talk about Patrick Queen, actually. Let's talk about the Defensive Rookie of the Year. I know you said he was upset with getting third place.
He was upset with third place. I don't really get it. I like the hunger. I really like, the competitiveness, but some of the plays he missed, you got to be real with yourself sometimes, Yeah. If I can just put it into into terms, it's like us getting mad at somebody who has 500,000 subscribers because they get more views than us. Right. Like Patrick Queen, Chase Young went to the Washington football team and turned their defense around.
Single-handedly almost.
Him and Montez Sweat, you take those two guys off of Washington, their pass rush is probably non-existent. Those two just all around did their thing. And if you don't think Chase Young deserved the Defensive Rookie of the Year, I don't think you're a football fan, honestly.
Absolutely not.
And then Jeremy Chinn got 4.5 votes, which was well-deserved. He had a hell of a rookie year for the Panthers. Then Patrick Queen got 2.5. He got more than Antoine Winfield, who I think had a better year than him. So, he should have been fourth, but hey, at least you got third. But what do you think about that? Do you think he was robbed, or do you think Chase Young deserved it?
Chase Young definitely deserved it, 100%, 100%. As our guy Robbie Rediford says in the chat, he says Young 100% deserves it. But I like the motivation. Yeah, I like the the whole chip on your shoulder. Wear that chip on your shoulder with pride, and coming into next season, and turn up and show us why you should be, in consideration for the Defensive Player of the Year. Now, just real quick, I wanted to bring something up that I saw in the chat here. Maxwell Jones, he says, "What's up, guys? Cool podcast, and I just got accepted in the Towson class of 2025. Shout out to you. Congratulations, man. Congratulations."
My guy Maxwell. Don't think you know Maxwell. I go to Towson too. I'm class of 22. So congrats. Hopefully, we'll be on campus soon. Yeah, you never know.
Might cross paths.
Facts.
So, Jace Wood says Washington football team had no other leaders. That's true. But just, for just a rookie, and again, we say it all the time, with no preseason. Rookie with no preseason, just coming straight from college. That's different, man. That's different.
And I think that's why you could have made the case for Justin Jefferson over Herbert. Yeah. But, it's a win-win either. But there's definitely some bias towards the quarterback position. We saw it last year. Between Kyler Murray and Josh Jacobs, I thought Jacobs should have gotten it. But Kyler as a quarterback, what he did with the Cardinals. So, I get it. But, were there any of the awards you had a problem with? MVP, Comeback Player of the Year. I think all of us agree Alex Smith, 100%. Yeah. Offensive Rookie of the Year, do you think Herbert deserved it over Jefferson?
Yes, I would. Only because, of course, the role of quarterback is a lot more responsibility than the role of wide receiver. And Justin Herbert really didn't have time to get, adjusted. And neither really did Justin Jefferson. Again, neither of them had a preseason. But Justin Herbert got literally thrown into the fire. I can't remember what week it was, but it was somewhere in the middle of the season. And he literally just got thrown into the fire and had to just start playing. And he just did well. He did well. So
the second game of the year, I remember that. Because Tyrod Taylor had the punk that against the Chiefs too. His first game against the reigning champions.
That was the second game of the year?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
I
Wow.
felt bad for Tyrod because he won the first game against the Bengals, and then Herbert comes in. But wow, um,
Yeah.
just getting thrown in the fire like that,
What did you think about MVP? Aaron Rodgers winning it.
I deserve it. I mean, it's not over the whole course of the year, regular season. I think he deserved it. Rodgers was doing just magical things. Um, Josh Allen, he was very good, but he wasn't playing lights out like we saw Lamar, in 19, or he wasn't
Yeah.
on Rodgers' level. And then Mahomes getting the 2 votes. I mean, can you? I don't think you can get mad at Rodgers winning MVP. I don't think you
Yeah.
can.
Honestly, I don't think you can either. Yeah. So, do you want to get into some
Oh, real quick,
some
real quick.
what's up?
Defensive Player of the Year. Did T.J. Watt get robbed? This is a big thing going on.
Oh, did TJ Watt get? Yeah, I think he honestly did.
You think?
I think he did. I think he did. I mean, I haven't looked at the stats myself yet, but just seeing, I saw what TJ Watt did this season with on that Steelers defense, and he played lights out for the greater part of the season. And you got to tip your cap to him, man. I think he definitely was robbed. Aaron Donald and his greatness, I understand it, but I don't know. I think I would give it to TJ. What about you, though? Shout out to Engraven as well. He says, "What's going on, fellas?"
Oh, what's going on? You can't get mad at either of them. Aaron Donald is going to be a Hall of Famer, first ballot, no question about it.
Yeah.
What I would like to see, I'm not saying he was robbed. I want to see his stats after Bud Dupree got hurt. I want to see if they dipped, because I know him and Dupree were just great 1-2 on each side. But once Dupree went out, I just want to see if his production just dropped off. But I mean, it's either or, and maybe I say Watt deserved it, maybe because Aaron Donald has 2, but we'll see. But either way, he's going to cost the Steelers a whole lot of money because it's his final year until he's a free agent.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. K-Dog says Donald is a freak of nature. He totally is, man. He is special, as Devon Johnson says. NFL Productions says TJ didn't get robbed. Jordan Yates says TJ did get robbed. So we got a little disagreement in the chat, which is cool. I like that. Rain Gang, keep showing us y'all opinions and everything like that. We love to see them. We love to bring them up and talk about them. Now, Alex.
Yes.
So we talked about Super Bowl. Amazing performance by the Bucs. That pretty much sums it up. Mahomes will definitely be back next season. We all know that. We're probably going to have to go through them, so we'll see how that goes. But we also have, news and stuff with the Ravens. Now, before we get into the coaches, I want to touch on the things that you had told me about earlier today, kind of like the rumors and stuff that were going on.
Okay.
So I know you heard some rumors. Yeah. The rumor report.
Yeah. The rumor report, Sutton and Simply. There we go.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of it coming with, free agency and then even draft if we want to trade up, trade back. What's going with Zeus,
So consider this a new segment.
The rumor report. I'm with it. Let's
do
it.
Yeah. So, just I think you has sent me a couple things earlier today. Let me pull them up in my text messages. There was a rumor that the Ravens are expected to pursue edge rusher Shaq Barrett this offseason. So, Alex, I want to get your thoughts on that. Rain Gang, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Would you rather have Barrett or re-sign Judon or Yannick Ngakoue?
He would want more, I think, than both of them. Here we go. Hashtag Sutton and Simply. Don't forget to hashtag that.
Yes, sir.
Just, Shaq is from Baltimore. So is Yannick's from Maryland. Just what he did yesterday in the biggest game of his career, had like one of the best games of his career.
Yeah.
I would love. I think if you could say I'm going to give you a blank check on who you want to throw it at first, I think Shaq Barrett, because we're known for the defense. So I'll throw it at Shaq Barrett. But to be honest, it's looking like he's not going to come, because right before we got on air, the tweet came out. Shaq Barrett said he wants to resolve his future before free agency starts. So it's looking like he's going to stay in Tampa, which hurts me, but we get it. We get it.
Yeah, we definitely understand that. It's like, why would you, leave Tampa Bay? It seems like you're in a great situation right now. And let's see, the Rain Gang, we're saying, Y Jumper says, we take Shaq Barrett. NFL Production says Shaq Barrett. Emmanuel Asapa says Barrett or Yannick Ngakoue, so I guess let Judon go. Wow. Yeah, Doris Flame, he's staying in Tampa.
Yeah.
We've got Barrett because of edge pressure. Let's see. Zeke Phillips says, I would rather take Barrett, honestly. And Jace Wood says it depends on who's on the other side. And Ardit Mahmood, shout out to Ardit. Our guy is back in the chat. Ardit Mahmood, he says Shaq Barrett is from Baltimore. Yeah. And I actually didn't know that until Alex told me before the stream. Yeah. That's very interesting.
Speaking of guys from Baltimore, Donovan Smith, the lineman for the Buccaneers, went to Owings Mills High School, which was I grew up 10 minutes away from there. So that's pretty cool. A lot of Baltimore ties to this Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs defensive coordinator is from Baltimore too. I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, pretty cool, Maryland having a lot of ties.
Yeah, definitely. So we're kind of split up in the chat room here. When we're saying Yannick, our guy Rush says, shout out to Rush, by the way. He says Yannick Ngakoue. Yeah, every single time, consistently. Let's see. We got a question in here.
The other rumor, too. One more rumor.
Sure. We got another rumor. Oh, yeah. So the other rumor.
That question, hand in hand with the one you just brought up, which is perfect.
Yeah. So the other rumor was Bengals AJ Green expected to be targeted by 3 teams, or actually 4 teams. The Patriots, Raiders, Washington football team, and guess what? The Baltimore Ravens. Our Baltimore Ravens are expected to be targeting free agent AJ Green. Well, not free agent, but AJ Green, targeting him. What do you think about that, man?
A very Ravens move. Not going to say I'm surprised, but I like to be positive. So I'm going to give you positives. Say we were to get AJ Green, he's going to test his best 2 games of the season against Cincinnati. It's just a given. He's going to ball out against them. And they do give us trouble sometimes. Recently, with Lamar, they haven't. But they're going to give us trouble again with Burrow and a healthy line, healthy team. Not who I would want. Would I be mad? No. Would I be underwhelmed? Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely be very, very underwhelmed with us signing AJ Green. I'm just not a huge fan of that move at all.
3 years ago, I'd be over. But it's just his injuries are catching up. Age is catching up. But I feel
Unknown Ghost says it. And Unknown Ghost says it. Injuries are the problem. He's a great fit. What are you about to say, though, bro?
Am I the only one who feels Nelson Aguilar is a typical Raven signing? It's like Michael Crabtree 2.0. I can just see it happening for some reason.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I feel like they would target the Allen Robinson before Nelson Aguilar.
I hope so.
Yeah, you would hope so at least.
I hope so. But just like it just feels like a real Baltimore. But that's kind of Ozzy. That's what Ozzy used to do. So
yeah. Brandon Lewis says AJ Green's body is made in China. Oh man, don't do him like that, Brandon. Moneyman says AJ Green is out of his prime. I'd rather go for someone like Marvin Jones or Corey Davis.
I think we both agree on that.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Emmanuel Asapa says, did y'all see Hollywood tweet right after the coaching signings? I actually did not catch Hollywood's tweet after that. Did you see it?
He said, "Call God, call God." That's him and AB's thing. So I mean, and AB did it last night after he scored, which is pretty cool. Seeing him score. So hopefully it'll be a different Brown in the Super Bowl next year scoring. But I think he's loving the new coaches. And I am too. I'm loving the new pickups. Loving it.
So speaking of new coaches and stuff like that, I also love all the new signings. I think we have like 4 new coaches. We have like an assistant defensive line coach. We have a passing game specialist, and we also have a wide receivers coach. And what was the 4th one? I'm missing one.
pass game coordinator. Did you say that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, my bad. I know the Ravens put the article out. Let me pull it up.
Yeah. But just overall, I mean, the two biggest ones are going to be, Keith Williams, who is going to be the passing game coordinator. And then we also have T. Martin, who is the wide receivers coach. I believe I have that correct. So,
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, what was your initial reactions to that? I know a lot of us probably had to go through and kind of do our research on these guys. I'm sure you did as well.
Yeah.
What was your reactions to us signing or hiring Keith Williams and T. Martin?
Okay, so pass game specialist, receivers coach, assistant defensive line, assistant linebackers. Those are the four.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know who they are because I don't.
Right.
But what I will do is that I will look and see what they have done, who they have worked with, and their resume. I mean, that's what you do when you get a new job. Check the resume. And to be honest, I believe it was Keith Williams, our pass game specialist. He's done some work with some pretty damn good receivers. I've been training with them. But the Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, is those two alone. They stand so far apart from everybody else in the league. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So if he can, if he can just, because they've had to pick up some pointers from him, and he's going to bring his knowledge to our team in a position where it is our worst position, the receivers. And if he can just bring a little bit of knowledge and just give it to them, I mean, the sky's the limit. There's still tons of potential to be unlocked in that receiving room.
Honestly. And, just with a guy like Keith Williams, like you said, I know he's worked with Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. And then we also have T. Martin, who is the wide receivers coach. And I think that that's probably my favorite signing. Having a guy like T. Martin, because if you don't know, T. Martin he won a bowl game in Tennessee as a quarterback. So he has, lineage as a quarterback. He actually backed up Peyton Manning as a quarterback at Tennessee, the University of Tennessee.
Wow, coming through with the facts, history.
Yeah, man. Had to read up on the guy. So he has experience as a quarterback, which I think directly translates and correlates into being able to tell receivers what to look for and how to make it a lot easier on their quarterback, how to make it easier on a Lamar Jackson. Also, the fact that T. Martin, and I don't know about Keith Williams all the way on this specific stat, but T. Martin is only 42 years of age. He's only 42 years old. So he's still like a fairly young guy. And we have and I was telling you this before we went live, we have a very young nucleus of receivers. So why not have a young guy coaching them who has experience in football, to just kind of change the culture in that locker room and just, have somebody who's locked in with them 24/7 and just kind of more relatable than maybe a David Culley. So I really like that. I really like that these hirings.
I was going to bring it up to you, too. I mean, David Culley was like 65 to 68 around that area. I mean, definitely a large, age gap. So just looking at here, too, he was, offensive coordinator, I believe, at USC. Let me see. He was the USC's offensive coordinator for 3 years. Do you know who their quarterback was a couple of those years?
Who?
Sam Darnold. He made Sam Darnold look that good to get that high of a pick in the draft.
Yep.
So he must have done something good or some type of magic. And also the receivers he's worked with, Juju Smith-Schuster, Nelson Aguilar, Robert Woods, and Randall Cobb. Not your Julio Joneses, your DeAndre Hopkins, but it's a lot better than what we have.
That's true.
And that's all we're asking for is just improvement. So
yeah.
And I know, some people want us to draft a receiver. Not against it. His son is in the draft right now. Amari Rodgers from Clemson. I believe he's projected a second or third round pick. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, I mean, I'd be looking at him now. I mean, get to work with his dad.
Yeah. Honestly, and I think that somebody else brought up something here. And Michael, the Hawks fan, shout out to Michael. He says Keith Williams was in Destroying's video. You know who Destroying is? Of
course.
Yeah, I'm not like subscribed to his channel or anything like that, but sometimes they pop up on my YouTube feed and I watch them. But like, he's always with like, big name like wide receivers and DBs, right? Yeah. So like, that's actually pretty big. Keith Williams, he's around these guys a lot, so he knows what it takes to be a star receiver. because he's seen and helped guys developed into being that. So
Yeah.
I mean, I love both of those hirings right there. I think it's going to work wonders for guys like Hollywood Brown. I think it's going to work wonders for hopefully guys like Miles Boykin. Maybe even, like we said, with the inclusion of a preseason next year, Devin Duvernay and James Prochet, maybe they can all lock in over the offseason and just come back just in sync, firing on all cylinders. That's the hope.
Meet up down Pompano Beach with Lamar and Hollywood, get something
Right.
going. Hey, if they need us to, put down the cones, I'll be more than happy to go there too. I know you would
Oh,
too,
yeah.
I'll play referee if they need me to.
Do anything.
Facts, but definitely compared to where we were last season, I'm feeling good. We got knocked out first round last year, got knocked out this year if we won a game, but it's like I'm seeing improvements. But
Right.
where the big improvements are for me now is what are we going to do in the free agency and draft? Are we going to pull a Bucks and build around our guy? Or are we going to put all this money in the defense again and just let the offense do their thing?
I think it's time. I think it's time for us to just build around our guy. We have the nucleus. I think J.K. Dobbins was like the main addition this year that really puts us like right there at that threshold where it's like, okay, we get one or two more pieces and this offense is going to be unstoppable. With Lamar Jackson, with J.K. Dobbins, with, I don't know, maybe an Allen Robinson, maybe this receiver or that receiver, or maybe if one of our guys just steps up or a couple of our guys just step up, we can really take that next step. We're very close, which is, I like your point. I am a lot more confident about this offseason coming up as opposed to last offseason. I feel like we're very close. We're very close.
Yeah, and our kryptonite, because it is the Chiefs. They just got beat. They're beatable. They're not the Dolphins from when they went, I think it was 14-0, and then they won the Super Bowl undefeated. Right. It's like they can be beaten.
They can.
The Raiders beat them. The Raiders with Derek Carr, Henry Ruggs, and Waller, they beat them in Kansas City. So it's not like they are. We can punch them in the mouth and beat them. So that's what I'm getting at. So, and then this team, what are we going to build around it be? Because we built this team last year to stop Derrick Henry. And we did it when it mattered. What is DeCosta going to focus on this year? It should be the offense. I mean, the defense did their thing. It should be the team that put up 3 points in the divisional round.
Yeah. Let's see. Josh Hoffman, shout out to Josh. He says, need a third tight end. Yeah, always coming through. He says, need a third tight end because of Roman. The offense is molded to Lamar. Well, now the personnel needs to be molded to Roman since we have to keep him.
I can't argue with that. I think both of us, we've been crying out for a third tight end. We have said it. Ricard is not a third tight end. I don't care how much the coaches say he can play like one. He is not a tight end.
No.
I'm tired of getting fed that BS because he's not a tight end. He's a fullback.
He's not a threat. Right. He's not a threat running those full tight end routes.
He's not even he was literally a defensive lineman, and we convert him to a fullback. You're going to convert a former defensive lineman to a tight end now who is just a fullback? Like, no. So I 100% agree. We need that third tight end. We need it.
What do you think about Boykin being moved to be the third tight end? What if that's one of the moves? That's a very cost efficient move.
Did it with Darren Waller.
to get that third tight end. Yeah.
I don't know. I
don't know.
Block. He
I feel like if you ask Boykin about that, he might not be opposed to it. I feel like he might not be opposed to. Obviously, he doesn't mind blocking. No. He can get loose and catch a touchdown pass if it's put on the money for him. So it's just like I don't know. I think that might be he might be on to something, Jace.
All right, let's do this. Let's ask the rain game. Yeah. What do we do? Does Boykin go to a tight end? Do we draft one? Do we sign one? Because there are some good tight ends out there in the free agency. What do you do?
So draft, sign, or Boykin. Draft, sign, or Boykin.
There we go.
Let us know. Let us know in the chat, Rain Gang. Let us know what you guys want to do for that third tight end spot. Should we draft somebody? Should we sign somebody? Or should we go with Miles Boykin?
Yeah. It's because we have our blocking tight end in Nick Boyle. We have our pass catching and blocking tight end in Mark Andrews. So I think we just need a guy who can just get open. and just get pressure off of Andrews, so he's triple team, double teams.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. The Rain Gang, they're saying Michael, the Hawks fan, he says draft Kyle Pitts. I know we were talking about that. That'd be awesome. I would love it.
But I don't think he'll be there.
No,
unless we
not.
somehow trade up. I don't see us going with a tight end.
Orlando. I don't know.
Right?
You never know. But yeah, he says Kyle Pitts. G-Man Stretch says Boykin to tight end. Money Man says Boykin. Emmanuel Asaba says neither. Click One says sign Ertz. Robbie Redifer says draft. Josh Hoffman says draft. Wow. So you guys are kind of all split up on this, I see.
Looking at we can develop some tight ends. Can. I mean,
yeah.
And we do have 2 unsigned, undrafted rookies. One, Eli Wolf and Jacob Breland.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be against drafting one and then see what goes with it. But, I mean,
honestly, yeah.
I think it's something they got to put in Boykin's head. Like, if you want to have a future with this team, think about converting to a tight end.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I think he would definitely play that role really well. And you never know. He could break out as a tight end. He could be a Darren Waller. You know what I mean? So, and, you know, that may be like just his calling. But you never know. Shout out to Miles Boykin, though. He played pretty well this season.
He turned it on at the end of the season.
Yeah.
He had like 4 touchdowns, like 5 games, I think. So,
yeah. Brandon Lewis says it as well. Boykin can be a little Waller. Absolutely. But yeah,
loving the conversation. We've had some very good conversations in this episode.
Absolutely. And if you're watching live still, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on Instagram. You can see right above my head here at the Purple Rain Podcast. You can find us on Instagram. So yeah.
While we're here, if you're not watching it live, leave a question or a comment down below. Because we always forget, and I always try to remember. I always forget, please. Comment if you're watching the replay.
Yeah, we love you guys just as much too, you guys who are watching the replay. So Alex, what else did we need to talk about and touch on tonight? Because I have another question for you in the Rain Gang. It's kind of like it's a fiery question, and I want to get your opinion and the Rain Gang's opinion on it.
Let's do it.
You want to just go ahead and go for it? Sure. And you want to do like questions after?
I do want to talk about Hall of Fame after this. So
Hall of Fame? Sure. Yeah, sure. We'll get into that too. So the question that I have for you, Alex, and the question that I have for the entire Rain Gang, let me just set the scene. Tom Brady just won his 7th Super Bowl.
Okay.
A lot of people would say Tom Brady is the greatest athlete of all time. Now, when I say the word greatest, I mean like in terms of accolades, what they've accomplished. Are they a leader? Do they have the intangibles? That's what I mean by the greatest. Alex, I ask you this. Who is your top 3 greatest athletes of all time? And Rain Gang, I want to know you guys as well.
Number 3?
Yeah.
Ooh. I feel like Michael Phelps has to be up there for one of them.
Okay.
And my other 2, they don't play in the U.S. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but if you watch soccer, you know how good they are. I didn't curse it. I caught myself. I'm trying to stop the cursing, but these guys. If you watch soccer,
I do.
Okay, Ronaldo is 36 years old. Okay, he is, I believe, leading Italy in goals scored. He is not real. He's been doing it his whole career. Messi scored 90 goals in the calendar year before. Some guys can't even score 90 goals in their career. That's why I'm going with those guys. And Michael Phelps is just a machine.
And that's of all time. That's the top 3 greatest athletes of all time.
For me.
So
Michael Jordan has to be in there for me too. And if you could up on Michael Jordan, LeBron, because LeBron's doing it at his age too. I'm not gonna say who's better because I know that's a whole different conversation. Because I know how that gets.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, bro. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I love Leo Messi. I love Ronaldo. But honestly, and shout out to Christopher Swain as well. He says, "What's up, Rain Gang? What's up, Chris? How you doing, man?" I'm gonna have to go number 3. Michael Phelps is I probably have to go Michael Phelps number 3. All of his accomplishments in the Olympics, like swimming is a crazy hard sport, and it's just, the things that he does or that he has done and accomplished are just second to none. And then number 2, I'm probably gonna have to go Tom Brady too.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Brady too. Listen, man, he's got 7 Super Bowls in a sport where there are 10 other players he has to rely on, on every given play. And that's just amazing to me. You saw like what he did. He went to Tampa Bay in his first season with Tampa Bay. He won a Super Bowl. So at this point, I have to put Tom Brady number 2, greatest of all time. And number 1, I got to go MJ, man. I got to go MJ. We're talking about the greatest. We talk about the greatest of all time. He had the intangibles. People feared him, legit. Other professionals legit feared Michael Jordan on the basketball court. Also, not to mention, Michael Jordan never lost in the finals. Never. Not once. Undefeated in the finals. If he got there, he was winning it, period. So, I don't know, man. I have to go with Michael Jordan. He just had that aura about him. He took time off, came back, and won more championships. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. I go with Michael Jordan. That's going to be my top 3. And I want to see what the Rain Gang says, too.
I can't argue with that. I just I got to put Ronaldo 1 for me. This man went to England, conquered Spain, conquered Italy. He won the Champions League, which is all of Europe, 3 times, and won the Euros with Portugal. He carried Portugal. He was the only person in Portugal who actually was worth anything. That's why I'm putting Ronaldo 1. But like I said, I can't argue with yours. I mean,
hey, man.
And just,
yeah.
Man.
Robbie Rutherford says Brady, MJ, Ronaldo, and Phelps. That's a good list right there. It's a nice little top 4. Let's see what else we have here. Adit Mahmood says Serena Williams should be included. She won a title while pregnant and has 23 titles. That is true. That is so true. She did win a title while pregnant. That's amazing. That is amazing. And you talk about the greatest. That's an intangible that you cannot even, most athletes cannot not even fathom, especially the male ones, of course. So I definitely would put Serena in there. I'd say maybe honorable mention, or I might even scoot her in there in my top 3 if I did a little bit more shuffling around. Mark Lopez says Tom Brady, number 1. It is more difficult to win a Super Bowl than to win an NBA Finals.
See, are we doing American or all time?
I mean, all time.
I just what soccer players go through, which is like why I'm like, they literally play 50 games in a season, and that's not even a calendar year. That's why I'm like, I'm more towards it. I mean, like winning,
yeah.
It's
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I like I said, I definitely think that Serena should be in there. Jace Wood says women feared Serena. Let's see.
Grown men fear a 5'7" Lionel Messi. I'm just like, this
is true. Pros Lone. I don't know how to pronounce this name. I wish I did, but I can't. There's no vowels. I can't work with that. So he says Kobe's work ethic was crazy. Yeah, absolutely. I think top 10. He's top 10 for sure. Let's see. Unknown Goat says number 3 Messi, number 2 Brady, and number 1 Jordan. Yeah, okay. I like that. Let's see. Jace Wood says, "Come on, this is ridiculous." What? What's ridiculous?
It's opinions.
Oh, he says Serena Williams got more than Phelps than Phelps and Jordan. Yeah,
but
I feel you, but I think that, I don't know, man. I put Jordan above Serena Williams only because that he plays in a team sport, and to be able to like will your team to win and not only have to focus on performing yourself, that's something a little bit different that I value a little bit higher. Now, I would probably, like I said, I may shuffle around Phelps for Serena. I definitely would do that, but I wouldn't put her over Jordan though. Yeah.
I can't compare her. I mean, I don't want to get caught. I don't know. I just can't put her in my top 5 just because everything else, but she'll definitely be in the top 10 for me. But if we had a
Yeah.
woman, she'd be number one. If
Yeah.
it's, but
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, so we have Christopher Swain says, what about Pele?
I can't put him up there because he played against. It's kind of like judging old school, like old school football to like new school football. Like other guys had jobs. Like
Yeah.
he was literally playing against farmers. Like
Yeah.
I can't. But that's why I mean, it's Ronaldo and Messi 1 and 2. I'm not gonna argue who is better. I just want to see one of them play in person. That's about it.
Right. Jackie Robinson, great athlete.
Yeah.
I don't know if I put like I don't know if I'm putting baseball players in my top 3. I don't know if I'm doing that. And there's nothing against baseball. It's just I feel like greatest athlete. What's harder for you to accomplish? What's more taxing on your body? I feel like those sports, basketball, football, swimming, stuff like that. Those are a little bit more strenuous. So that's why I definitely put them in my top 10 for sure. In terms of my top 3, I'd probably leave them out of there, Chris. So yeah. Unknown Goat says number 3 Nathan Peterman, number 2 Iguodala, and number 1 Trace McSorley.
I went Iguodala.
Oh man,
that's like the 3 biggest memes you got.
Yeah. So all right, that was a pretty good conversation. Thank you guys for participating in that. Thank you, Alex. That's been on my mind kind of all day. I just kind of want to ask you guys that. But another thing I know you wanted to talk about, Hall of Fame. I'll let you kind of lead on that. What did you want to talk about Hall of Fame, bro?
So Calvin Johnson was the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Good Morning Football today, and they were talking about who's up for next year's Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
A couple of former Ravens. Steve Smith Sr., Anquan Bolden, and Devin Hester. Now, do any of those guys get a first ballot Hall of Fame? Not.
It depends on who's also eligible, I think, next year.
DeMarcus Ware is also up too. I know that. It feels weird now. The guys I grew up watching are about to get a Hall of Fame. It's starting to get weird. All right, 2022 NFL. Okay. Let's see. Who else is? All right, it's not telling me who is going to be eligible. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I agree with that. I'm looking at chat now. Robbie Reddifer says Anquan won't be first ballot because he's quiet. I mean, I don't know necessarily.
A lot of work with NFLPA, like a lot of social justice work with him. A lot. He's a lot more behind the scenes, I think.
Okay. I don't know if Bolden would be first ballot over Steve Smith. Steve Smith, he would go down as a Panther, as our guy says here. I think Steve Smith Sr. He would definitely go down as a Panther, and definitely not with us for sure if he were to go in the Hall of Fame. But I don't know if I see either of these guys going first ballot. If I did either one of them, Steve Smith.
Okay.
I think Steve Smith goes before Bolden.
All right, Chad Greenway, former Viking. I don't even think he's gonna make it, like even get close to making it.
What was his position again?
He was a linebacker. He was solid, but he wasn't like, I never considered him a top linebacker when he was playing.
It's tough to tell. Like, I mean, I would honestly probably say, like I said, if anybody, I would say Steve Smith Sr. would go first, and then Anquan Bolden before Anquan Bolden.
Okay. Andre Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Tony Romo. As a commentator, I can give it.
Yeah.
As a commentator.
You can't give Romo first ballot. No.
Robert Mathis. That one's kind of hard.
I could see it.
That's a good one. Okay.
There's a lot of good names. I feel like there's a lot of good names coming out next year.
DeMarcus Ware.
I
think he might get it. I can see DeMarcus Ware making the first ballot.
DeMarcus Ware, yeah, I definitely think he'll get there. He'll definitely get there.
Vince Wilfork.
Definitely. All those years with Brady, protecting Brady, for sure.
Okay, so Bolden is 9th all-time in receptions with 1,076. Steve Smith is 8th in history with 14,731 yards. Wow.
Yeah, gotta go Steve
It's
Smith.
going to be tough. It's going to be tough next year because there are a lot of good names.
Yeah. It is. I thought this year's class was pretty good, too.
Yeah, it was really good. I was happy Charles Woodson made it.
Charles
Definitely
Woodson,
deserved it.
yeah. Of course, Peyton Manning got in there. Love to see it.
It's going through right now. Arian Foster's eligible. I don't think he's going to make it. If he kept playing, he could have made it. Very, very good running back.
Yeah.
Going through some more. Would Devin Hester make it first ballot?
I think you have to. He's one of the best returners of all time.
See, you would think that, but Steve Tasker plays special teams, still isn't in yet. I feel like just because, like, if they don't give special teamers love in the Hall of Fame, they really
That
don't.
sucks.
Yeah, you would think they would. They don't give them.
I don't get that because I just know Devin Hester was one of the players that I grew up with, and
So fun to watch.
It seemed like every other Sunday he was breaking off a big run for a touchdown. So I don't know, man. I would definitely put him in there first ballot just because that's a hard position. Kick returning, like that's a very tough position, and punt returning, that's a very tough position to play. So, and to score touchdowns out of that, yeah, I would definitely put him first ballot.
I think growing up, like, we had some very good returners to watch. Josh Cribbs was a very good.
Cribbs, yeah.
He was very good.
He got us a couple times.
Man, and Braylon Edwards, he definitely had a lot of potential. I think that just was wasted in that town called Cleveland. A lot of players have been wasted there. It sucks. Oh man. Okay. Is Tucker a first ballot Hall of Famer?
It depends. I think you have to look up the history of kickers making it in off first ballot.
Okay.
If they do typically, then yes, he's got to.
Okay.
Because it's Tuck. So, but if they don't, I could see them sneaking him in there at second ballot, that sort of thing. But yeah.
Okay.
So
that's all I got.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, it's definitely like we said. I think the this year's picks were really good. Next year, hopefully, we can get Steve Smith Sr. Because I think he definitely deserves it. Maybe even Anquan Bolden because that's just our guy. Anquan Bolden is every Ravens fan's one of top 5 favorite players of all time.
We've been looking for a receiver like him since he left.
Exactly.
We still haven't found it.
Exactly. So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into our question segment of the night, which basically means that you can go ahead and type in the chat room, in the chat section, or in the comment section down below if you're watching this after the fact, the replay of the live stream. Let us know any questions you may have for either me, Suttondef, or my guy, SimplyAS10. It can be about football. It can be about life. It can be about music. It can be about food. It could be about culture. It could be about this. It could be about that. It doesn't matter. Just ask us anything. And after that, we will go ahead and close the show for tonight. Real quick, just another housekeeping thing for you guys. Just a reminder, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Follow the Purple Rain Podcast on Instagram. And yeah, also make sure that you stick around with us because even though the NFL season is over, like we said, Purple Rain is not. So be on the lookout for more content coming soon, guys. So let's see what we have here.
While we're waiting for questions real quick, do I give the ranking a little hint on who my next, or even just tell who my next video is on? Do I do that?
Yeah, I think you should. Exclusive.
Linebacker for the Ravens. Mr. Reliable. Solid. That's all I'm going to say. That should be obvious. All I'm going to say.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys know what it is. You guys know what it is, man. You know what type of show we're running here. Let's see what we got. Questions in here. Do you think we could get Corey Davis for cheap and still get a number 1?
I think if we get him, he's our number 1.
it depends on what your definition of a number one is.
He wasn't even number one in Tennessee. It was AJ Brown.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that maybe we could pull that off. If we do, then EDC is definitely, that dude. But I don't know. I feel like Corey Davis, he would probably demand quite a bit of money, more than we would be comfortable with paying him, and then also paying a quote unquote number one receiver. So I feel like it's going to be one or the other. It's probably going to be one or the other. Another one, Moneyman says, do you think that the Ravens could trade for JJ Watt? That's another Ravens move, isn't it?
It is. I can't see that happening. Too much money, I think he probably makes, and I'm tired of us getting these guys past their prime. I don't want it. I do not want it. But, I mean, would you take it?
Honestly, no, not at this point. I don't think we necessarily need that, I think we could spend money elsewhere, and it would definitely be a lot better for us if we did that. Let's see. Josh Hoffman says, are Ravens fans as annoying as Chiefs fans?
The ones that think Lamar can't do any wrong, I would say are. I would say that. I think if we're talking about most annoying fans, they are pretty annoying, and they did deserve that humbling. All that talk for just not to score a touchdown. I told you the pettiness was coming.
The pettiness is in full effect tonight. Brandon Lewis says, should we draft Amon Ra?
USC wide receiver. I have not watched any film on draft. No, I still have not watched anything yet. I need to get onto it. I think these are questions that can definitely come up probably like a month or so for sure when we're getting around. Like March is like prime draft time.
Yeah, and we'll be all over that, guys. And Mark Lopez, he also says, if we trade Orlando Brown to the Chargers for their first round pick, who would you want to draft with their 13th pick and our 27th pick?
Definitely a lineman. I mean,
lineman.
And then, is it bad for me to say secondary too?
No, it's not at all.
I think that's... After you're done answering this question, I do have a question for you guys in the Rain Gang. Speaking of secondary.
Okay. Sure.
But, yeah, I'm going to go secondary and line.
Secondary and line, I absolutely agree with you there. I think O-line and DB was both of our top two choices for, draft wish list for this upcoming year. So what was that question, though, that you had?
Reports have circulated today that the Cardinals are parting ways with Patrick Peterson.
Really?
Yes. I know the Ravens secondary has a lot of people coming back. I mean, we're stacked. But with our injuries, would you sign them on a cheap 1-year deal?
I would. Get some veteran experience in there, some veteran experience in the locker room. Pete.
He could do a lot better than Tramon Williams did for us. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I definitely would do that.
Because, this is going to sound very bad to say, Jimmy Smith isn't giving you a full 16 games. Tavon Young won't give you a full 16 games.
Hopefully.
Hopefully they do. But it's just... And then Marcus Peters missed a few games this year. So having too many guys in secondary can never hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. KLA Sports says, who on the Ravens do you see being Hall of Famers and who has the best potential to be a first ballot? Are we talking Ravens, like the current Ravens roster?
Yeah. Because if so, Cook and Tucker.
Yeah. Tucker, Sam Cook, like you said. Too early to tell. Lamar Jackson.
Honestly, if he gets a ring, Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
I think a case can be made for him.
Right. Yeah. Calais, like you said, we have a couple who maybe a little too early to tell because they're younger guys that show a lot of potential right now, but We have a couple. I'd say maybe a Marlon Humphrey if he continues to play really well. Like I said, Lamar Jackson and long shots. Even you have guys like, I don't know. I'm just saying maybe J.K. Dobbins could break out next season and be the top 3 running back in the NFL, or at least top. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Hey, don't add him. Don't add Suttondef when it happens.
You know what I mean? So, but moving on, Mr. Rose says, which Ravens defense was better, 2000 or 2006? I'm personally going to go with 2000, man. You take Trent Dilfer in that offense all the way to a Super Bowl, drag him to a Super Bowl, win that Super Bowl,
Win it.
completely shut down the Giants in that
Win
game. Yeah, I'm going to go with 2000 defense.
Can't argue with that. I'm not even going to argue with it.
So let's see. Unknown Goat says, what scenarios should you pick? Just get Allen Robinson, get Marvin Jones and Corey Davis, or just get Kenny Galladay? Allen Robinson.
Since it's hypotheticals, I'm going to go Allen Robinson.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely go Allen Robinson as first priority on that. Let's see. We have another question. Could we pack Orlando Brown and Gus Edwards to get the Jets pick?
No. I don't see a reason to trade Gus Edwards. There's no reason to.
Yeah. Let's see here. Moneyman says 2019 Ravens offense or 2012 Ravens defense.
The 2012 defense wasn't all that, to be honest. Our offense led us to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go with the 2019 Ravens offense.
Yeah, same. Let's see. Any more in here? Which is on the list. Okay. Yeah, I think that might do it for us tonight, fellas. We're going to go ahead and wrap this on up. You have been watching the Purple Rain podcast for the past hour and 17 minutes. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel like we always say. You can go follow us on our social media accounts. You can find my guy Alex at AlexSilverman_ on Twitter. And on Instagram, you can find him at SimplyAS10.prod. Also, make sure you guys go ahead and follow or subscribe, rather, to his YouTube channel. If you just go and type in SimplyAS10. As a matter of fact, you can just Google him. SimplyAS10. You can find all things SimplyAS10 if you just Google it. Fun fact. Perfect. Also, if you want to follow me on socials, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Suttondef.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Like Nike. Just do it. Like and your also, sweatshirt says Nike. Just do it.
Also, I just wanted to say this. Guys, the NFL season is over. I know we just started the Purple Rain podcast about halfway through the NFL season, and I just want to thank you guys personally. I know I can probably speak on Alex's behalf as well. We just really thank you guys for all the support that you've given us thus far. We're going to be putting out more content in the off season, and we're going to be coming full force going into next season. So we appreciate you guys for rocking out and staying solid and being strong with us and growing with us, really. And we're excited to see where this goes. And yeah, man, I'll let Alex take it away.
I mean, I was like a big fan. The Rain game. Yeah. I don't know if I think I can speak for you too. Like, I try to get to remember everybody. I can definitely tell. I know who is here every week. I can just. It's very easy when you try to be like that. I know. But yeah, a lot in store. I mean, and got the merch coming soon. And when the 1,000 subs hits, why not have the meetup, podcast? It's gonna be a good time. And definitely big things on the way. Stay tuned. We're trying to work some things that get some guests on here. But just please stay patient. And we'll see you on Thursday. You know how Mondays and Thursdays. You know how it goes.
Mondays and Thursdays, always. And as always, I'm gonna let my guy Simply take us out.
Well, for the last time, there's no football. I can't say, there's a game on Thursday or Sunday. But you know what? You know what you can do? You know what you can do? You can stay positive and test negative.
Absolutely. Always and forever, guys. And we're gonna catch you guys in the next one. Just real quick, Asmodeus, I don't want to do this. He says, I have a question for the Purple Rain gang. Do we possibly get rid of Roman mid-season and win a Super Bowl? Maybe. Who knows?
Happened 2012. Cameron got. And then
right, exactly.
I don't know.
But find out next time on the Purple Rain podcast. Peace, guys.